Hi, everyone. My name is Christian Lozada. I am going to be your English 101 teacher this semester. It's a little exciting, and I figured what I should do is give you a little preview of what our class is going to be about. Um, like any other English class, we're going to do some reading and we're going to do some writing. I chose one specific topic because it's something that is pertinent to a lot of the stuff that's going on politically right now, as well as something that's going on with you right now. And what that is this term called equity. Equity is this idea that every individual, specifically in school, but every individual needs help based upon their individual strengths and weaknesses. We'll go into that further, but I just wanted to give you a preview of this topic. We're going to be reading two books on this topic. The first one is called Whistling Vivaldi by Claude Steele. He specifically is writing about students, a lot of students of color, women students. He even covers how issues of equity come up with white students. So it's not like anybody is immune to this. The other book we're going to be reading is a little bit more controversial. It's called White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo. It's really good. We'll talk about the controversy that's around it, and we'll start taking it apart. But notice up here, I have a little script, and I just wanted to go, this is the syllabus. We'll be reading it in more detail as we go through in the first 2 weeks of the semester. But again, I wanted to give you a quick preview. A lot of this stuff is stuff you're going to see in your other classes. I have an introduction for you. Student learning outcomes are just what you're supposed to learn in here. You can read all of this, you will read all of this, but to boil it down, you're going to read, you're going to write, and you're going to read and write along college standards. What that means, that we'll go into detail later. Here's the required material. The grading might change a little bit, so even though I'm posting this, doesn't mean that you should, keep it, because it's not necessarily accurate yet. But the requirements is what I wanted to go over a little bit. There's going to be assignments, which of course you're expecting, and participation. Participation is going to be primarily your lab grade, and for our lab, I am going to have a set time that I will be available via Zoom or Pronto, and we will work individually. You and I will work. Sometimes it'll be in a group if you want. But we will work one-on-one a few times throughout the semester just to make sure you're getting the individualized instruction that you need. Basically, it's almost set up where you have somebody with a master's degree, me, being a tutor for you. The times that I'm setting up will be scheduled, your individual time with me, but they will be open for anybody who needs them. And then there'll be a second section where we will have scheduled times for those one-on-ones. Now, I'm going to have to explain this multiple times throughout the semester, but the heart of our class is what's called a summary response. It'll also be our discussion boards. Summary response is one paragraph of summary, one paragraph of response. The thing that makes them confusing is I have set up this class so that you don't have to do as much work if you're smart. And I will tell you how you can make things fit so that you're not doing that much work. But every summary, since you're going to get the prompt for our essay early on in the semester, every bit of writing that you do for our class should be directed towards that essay, that topic. So all of these summary responses that you're going to write, and you're going to write I think 10 to 12 of them, you should keep in mind how they will fit in your essay, because you're allowed to copy and paste them into your essay. There should be some revising and some drafting going on in there, but that's really how they're designed to be. I'm also going to set up some group summary responses where you will be collaborating with classmates. They will be writing parts of your essay for you, but that only depends on how much you're working with them. If you are outright cheating and you're not contributing to the group summary responses, then that, you're not allowed to just steal. Yeah. You will be taught how to steal a little bit in this class, but it's really more along the lines of what's academically appropriate. We got evidence logs, so you're going to be reading a bunch of stuff. I need to know that you're reading a bunch of stuff, so we're going to use Cornell notes. Again, I'm going to do things slightly different. So if you know what Cornell notes are, awesome. You probably think that they're pretty worthless. Awesome. They kind of are, unless you're doing it with some intention, and we will be doing it with intention, and I'll explain that. You're going to be writing me 4 essays. 4 essays. The first 3 are going to be about 4 to 5 pages each. The last one is going to be 12 to 15. That sounds like a shit ton, and I am sorry for cussing, but that sounds like a lot of pages, a lot of words. But like I said, I want you to work smart in this class. I want to make sure that we're doing the things that are important, like revising and rewriting rather than just writing. So remember how I said those summary responses will work in your essays? Your first 3 essays will go into your big essay towards the end of the semester. So everything is just constantly being added up to one larger project. So just remember that each assignment does count for a lot, but for a different reason than you might be used to. It's really for the learning experience to set up yourselves for later. We'll have this assignment called corrections. We'll go into that later. There's extra credits. We'll have to go into specifics on that later because they're going to be weird. I didn't change a lot of this stuff for COVID. So we'll see if this stands up. Policies, I didn't change any of this stuff for COVID either. The reason why I didn't change it was actually very specific. What I wanted to do is, as we're going through this topic of equity, I want students, so there's going to be an assignment where students analyze whether or not my policies are equitable, meaning whether or not they're fair for all students. Late work, we'll talk about that. Ooh, I actually didn't put that in there, or I didn't fill that out. I will before I post this to y'all. Dropping the class, it is your responsibility to drop, not mine. If I might drop you due to like you being way too far behind, but in all honesty, I'm here to teach. I'm here to help you out, and I will continue to do that until you leave. So don't trust me to drop you when you know that I am just going to keep trying to teach you one way or another. Here's some Title IX stuff. Yeah, that's our syllabus. That's our class. I can't wait to meet all of y'all. I'll go into an introduction of me later. I just wanted to give you a heads up. We're going to be talking about, at the end of the day, we're going to be talking about what schools can do, what I can do to be fair to you. One thing, and I'm glad I'm tucking this at the end. One thing that most people don't really think about is what the function of a school is. What actually are we supposed to do? A lot of times students will go to get a degree, right? That's the student's function at a school. That's not the school's function. The school's function is to teach. It's to educate while you guys are getting your education. Our job is to educate. Now, if anybody fails a class, if anybody drops out, did the school educate them? Did the school succeed in its function? Really, The answer is no. Anytime a student fails, anytime a student has a hard time and doesn't succeed, that is the school's fault, not the students. Because, I mean, a lot of students will blame themselves for it, but here's the thing. Who's the adult in the room? All of us are adults, but who's the eldest? Well, I can't even say that. Who's the person getting paid to be there? It's me. It's the teacher. Who's the person that knows the most in the subject matter? It's the teacher. Who's the person that whose job it is to make sure that students are learning? It's the teacher. The students are coming in. You all are coming in with your own intelligences. You're each and every one of you smart in your own ways. And what teachers are supposed to be doing is training you, finding a way to connect that intelligence that you already have with the intelligence that we have. Anytime we fail to bridge that gap is a time that we failed you. So, with that in mind, throughout this semester, I hope I do not fail you, first and foremost. And second, help me make sure that I don't fail, because I don't want any one of y'all to be left behind. I don't want any one of y'all to feel inadequate because I failed at this job. So please help me help you be successful in whatever it is that you want to do, even if that includes dropping out of school. I'll tell you a story later on where I convinced a student to drop out of school, and he was really happy about it, not for the reasons that you think. But we'll talk about that later. It's so great meeting all of y'all. I can't wait for this semester to start. I know by the end of it, I'm going to be tired of y'all too, just like you'll be tired of me, and that's fine. That's normal. But for right now, I'm excited. I'll see you later.